Hi guys, my name's Francis B, and I'm a senior therapist here at Solice.eu in Marbella in Spain, and I'm very grateful for that. As the senior therapist in here, I'm going to share with you now the program that I use on a daily basis that got me well, got me clean and sober, because the man you see before you right now is not the man that come in to this program 13 years ago. I come into this program broken, busted, not to be trusted, and totally disgusted. I weighed a lot less than I do now. I still want to weigh a little bit less, but that's okay. And my mind was shattered into 1,000 pieces. What happened to me? What happened to me is, after 31 years of active drug addiction, and cocaine is the drug of my no choice. I only learned that in a program. I love everything about cocaine. I love the smell of cocaine. I like the word cocaine. I like the effect produced by cocaine. Collecting it, buying it, waiting on street corners, the whole lifestyle, the criminal lifestyle that it involved in the end with me. Everything about it. Until one day, I woke up, so to speak. I woke up. I had a moment of clarity, and this moment of clarity looked like this. I woke up in my friend's back room in Liverpool, in Hope Street, a street called Hope, which is ironic. And I could see for the first time in many, many years where I was. There was a 1950s wardrobe in the corner with cobwebs on, a big hole in the wall. And it was in November as well, and there was cold air coming in. I woke up and I did not want to be alive. I wanted to die. I wondered how I got here. I suddenly realized in this moment of clarity of where I was. The delusion, it fell away. It all fell away. I'd heard about a 12-step program from a friend of mine, and he was an alcoholic. And that popped into my mind there and then. So one thing led to another, and I found myself in the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous in Liverpool. As soon as I sat down in one of these rooms, it felt like someone had been in there, told them I was coming, because people were talking about my story. That once a starter cannot stop. That even though I earn money, I spend it all on cocaine and alcohol and other things. That no matter how many promises I make to my children, to my loved ones, to my wife, to my mother, to my sisters and brothers, and mean it at the time, I would pass a lie detector test. 6 hours later, I think it's a good idea to have a drink. Then I'm on more cocaine. And for me, I don't know when I'm going to stop. I cannot guarantee when I'm going to stop. So step one in the 12-step progress looks something like this, and I'm going to give you the shortened versions here, because the version now 13 years later is so long, it's got depth, it's got weight, it gives me so much, because one of my nemesis was boredom. I got really easily bored. I could have the most amazing life in the world, and I got bored. Step one tells me I'm powerless over cocaine and all other mind-altering substances. I'm not powerless. I'm a strong-willed man. I run businesses. People listen to me. I've trained thousands of people in call centres up and down the country. But when it comes to addiction of alcohol and cocaine, I remember crying as I'm snorting cocaine that I don't want to do this. I remember still drinking, and I was drinking port in the end because of delusion. If you get to meet me, I'll tell you why. I'm drinking port and I'm crying. I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm powerless. I have got this compunction in me, this monkey on my back that makes me do it. Because when I first done that, how can I put it? It changed my perception on reality. Before I have a drink and some cocaine, I'm sitting there, I might look okay, but I get nervous. I feel nervous. I'm not quite sure of myself. Put this inside me, I relax, I'm the king, I can do anything, I make things happen, I'm number one. It changed a duck into an eagle. Okay, I'm powerless. I can't stop taking it. What do? Can't stop taking cocaine. Tried, can't. I've got to admit. And that takes time. Not all at once did I get this. My life is unmanageable. Jails, institutions, divorces, bankruptcies. Yeah, that's unmanageable. It was pointed out to me by a man armed with the facts about himself, someone who had lots more time in than me. Francis, the unmanageability goes on in here. That's where the real unmanageability goes. I never took the first drink drunk. I never took the first line stoned. I always took the first one straight or clean. I haven't got a drink and drug problem. It was my solution for a long time. I have got a living problem in this world. That's what I found out. I'm irritable, I'm discontent, people piss me off, I piss myself off. I lie when the truth would do me better. I'm a cheat, I'm a thief, I'm a manipulator. The guilt, shame and remorse I feel drives me back to cocaine and alcohol. All this unmanageability here. So my life's unmanageable. Very simply, I got told, Francis, you need a new manager. Sack yourself as the CEO of your life. You being the managing director of Francis, you have done quite a shit job. Excuse my French. And I had to look around, and I'd done a shit job of running a company. I'd run it into the ground. They told me that I've got an allergy. Once I put one into me, I'm off at the races. I had to look at my experience. Oh, just come for one drink, Francis. Just have one line. I have never had one in my life. Because once I have one, it kicks off this phenomenon of craving in my body. My body takes over. Something happens in this body. So the easy thing to do is not take one. If I have a strawberry allergy, I don't have to go to Strawberries Anonymous. Because I just don't eat strawberries. But I keep going back to cocaine. I keep going back to alcohol. So the next thing I've got is an obsession of the mind. My mind will trick, fool and delude me. The memories, the shame and the guilt that should be there are actually there. I've got this blind spot, like in a car where you're driving and you cannot see there. I just don't see the carnage that I've caused, the promises I've made. It just don't see it. I've got this blind spot. I've got that. Now, the third part, and when I heard this third part of what I suffer from, I went, I'm not having, I went to walk away. They went, you've got something wrong inside, something's missing. I went, yeah. They went, something to do with spirit. And as soon as this man mentioned spirit, oh, the shutters come up and know where you're going. Because step 2, as I read on the wall, is came to believe in a power greater than me could restore me to sanity. So the guys calmed me down. He said, I understand. All we're saying is a power greater than you. Because the problem is you think you're the power and you've got none. So you need another power outside. I'm not stupid. I know you're talking about God. And then once you start talking about that to me, all my old prejudice, ideas, everything that got taught to me as a child comes to the fore. The guy who was sponsoring me turned around and went, no, this is about spirit. He gave me this idea. I think David Bowie first come up with this idea. The difference between spirituality and religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people who've been to hell already. And I know what hell is in here. I lived in hell for so long. I like that. This is an inside job. It's got nothing to do with nothing outside. It's purely to do with me. And I felt maybe something there. So I've got analogy, obsession, cool. The third part is you need to fix this inside. To be honest, I had no choice. I had nowhere else to go. He said to me, just try. If it doesn't work, walk away. I went, okay. And I'm still here. I then hand this, me, over to a power greater than me. Okay, now you're the managing director of what goes on. Let's see what you can do with it. And I'm very skeptical. I'm sitting there going, what's going to happen now to my life? 13 years ago, I was in the back room of my friend's house in a bedsit, covered in shite, looking to go to jail without a penny to me name. No one would be around me. I got rid of everybody. I was the junkie. Now I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in Marbella. I'm a senior therapist. I'm helping others. I do this every day. I pinch myself. It's amazing. How did the process go? 1, 2, and 3 considerations. 4 to 9. How can I explain? It's like a drain pipe. If my life is a drain pipe, and you know in Northern Europe, when we get the leaves and it blocks up the drain pipe, okay? 4 to 9, clear out the drain pipe for me. I clear the drain pipe. Step 4, I make a list of everyone who's pissed me off, who I hate, who I resent, any harms I've done, fears. I didn't know I had fears. I thought I was fearless. Bullshit. Got me fears out, harms, and relationships as well. Put it all on paper. Started to see my side. I'll give you an example. I went to prison. I've been to prison a few times because of drinking drugs. I went to prison and I left some money with a girlfriend. She then spent the money on a new boyfriend, taking him on holidays to Amsterdam, etc. I get out of jail. I want to kill this man. I want to kill this woman. Naturally. However, when I've looked at the stuff I've on paper, this woman I treated like an object. This woman I stayed out on. This woman I kidnapped her. I held to hostage. I had to look at her point of view. And if someone would have done that to me, what I done to her, I would have done worse to me than what she done to me. Do you understand? I had to look at the harms I'd done, and it opened me up. It opened me up. Because I had to admit to myself, my higher power, and another human being, what I'd done, and the nature of the wrongs, so I could put these things together and work on them. Because steps 6 and 7, the steps to heaven, I look, oh, I've got lust on me today. Please remove lust at once. 6 and 7. Steps 8, I make the list of all the people I had harmed, the people I owed money to. I only want to stop drinking and drugging. Yeah, Francis, you've got to pay all that money back. But I owe fortunes back. Pay it back and see what happens. And I have paid most of that money back. Amazing stories about that. Amazing stories about paying money back that I didn't have. That just kept coming in and going out, coming in and going out. I'm going, what's going on with this universe stuff? Amazing stuff. 9, made direct amends to people who I had harmed, except when to do so with injured them or others. Whoa, you want me to go back to these people and say sorry face to face? Some of these people want to kill me. Some of these drug dealers I owe money to, some of these will stab me and shoot me. Go back. You're in the path of the universe, you've got a higher power now. You will be looked after. Okay. So I did. And once I started the ball rolling of doing this, of going back to people, of calling them, knocking on doors, most people welcomed me open armed. A couple of people told me to, didn't want to see me again, wanted the money back. One guy, I phoned up, he went, no, it's okay, Fran, keep the £600, it's okay. I'm glad that you do not do that anymore. Wow. I've had some amazing experiences. Steps 10, 11 and 12. Step 10, okay, every now and again, when these resentments creep into me, because a resentment is the number one offender to me. What is a resentment? Someone pisses me off and they live in my head rent free. They live there for a long time and they're not paying rent. I'm assassinating people in my head. I need to get rid of this every day. Because little things like driving, this is the program how it works. I watch for when I've got to pause when agitated, watch when I'm angry. I can now, here's what this program's done for me very, very simply. It's created a space around me and the reaction, because I used to jump in. There's now that space where I don't open my mouth so quickly. I keep my tongue where it's supposed to be. Step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to have a conscious contact with a higher power. What does that mean? It means this. It's the glue for the day. Between me getting up in the morning and going for a pee, I can cause World War III in my head. Those who know. And it's just good to calm down and sit there in the morning and be quiet for half an hour. And the most important step of all, and anybody who comes in here and does this program, this is the one that we ask of. We don't want nothing of you except to pass this on. Because once you've had this spiritual experience as a result of these steps, which is guaranteed, you carry this message to the still suffering alcoholic or addict. The second part of step 12, and to practice these principles in all my affairs. I'll tell you why this works for this addict. It keeps me interested. It keeps me fascinated. I don't have much boredom in my life. If you would have said to me even 5, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, Francis, you're going to be working in a beautiful, fantastic, top-end treatment centre in Marbella, in Spain, I would have laughed. The journey continues, and so can yours. I'll leave with this. Addiction turned out to be my saving grace. I turned, with the help of my higher power, the worst thing that could ever happen to a person into the greatest thing that could happen. I now have all the pain and the suffering which helps others. I can identify with people who have been through the same thing as me and help them and show them and go, here's how I done it, you choose how you do it. I don't tell you, I just show you. And that's the beauty of this 12-step program. No one has a gun to your head. You get shown, there's what we do. Do you want to do it? Do you want to try it? Do you want a life beyond your wildest dreams? Thank you.